Have you ever been whacked in the face by a giant beetle? Well, frankly, it hurts. Especially when the beetle digs into your cheeks with its spiny legs. It's quite difficult to pry off, actually. Anyway, I bring this up because this particular beetle lives in the rainforests of Madagascar, that big island off Africa. I spend a lot of time in the rainforest these days. It's really my second office. But to me, rainforests are also my paradise. They have also shaped my life, especially one forest in particular. This is a rainforest in Borneo. It's full of orangutans, hornbills, leaf monkeys, and spectacular insects. I know that sounds bizarre, but believe me, these insects are gorgeous. They come in every color you can imagine. My moments in this forest have been among my most precious. Hiking under the giant trees, swimming in the crystal clear creeks, and of course, seeing the animals. But this place no longer exists in this form. Shortly after my last visit, a logging company came and tore down those trees. It bulldozed the creeks, and I don't know what happened to the animals. But in that forest destruction, something else was born. A person impassioned to make a difference. I was a lucky child. My mother was a travel agent, and my dad had about 1 million airline miles. Together they wanted to show my sister and I the world, so we traveled all over. We went to places like Australia, Costa Rica, Botswana, Venezuela, and of course Borneo. But Borneo wasn't the first special place I lost, nor was it the last. However, the destruction of that forest led me to try to make a difference. So in college, I started writing a book about rainforests to make people aware of these places and what was happening to them. I spent 3 years writing the book and eventually found a publisher. I thought everything was going great. But one day I received a phone call from the publisher. It didn't have the money to put pictures in the book. That was a big setback for me. After all, how could I convey the beauty of these places without photos? Well, about that time, there was a new thing called the internet, so I decided to post the book online for free. I called the website Mongabay.com after another special place, Nosy Mongabay, a spectacular island off Madagascar, and the very place where I had the encounter with that beetle. Of course, Nosy Mongabay has other interesting animals besides that beetle. Much to my surprise, the site grew popular. So popular, in fact, it started generating revenue when I put ads on it. So I quit my day job and never looked back. Since then, Mongabay has grown to become one of the most popular conservation sites on the web, drawing more than 10 million people in the last year. There's a section for children that's now available in 34 languages, and I've posted more than 50,000 photos I've taken in 36 countries. I've had opportunities to travel the world and meet fascinating people. But most importantly, the site has had a real impact. Let me give you an example. Let's go back to Madagascar. Last year, there was a military coup in Madagascar, and its beloved forests were logged for rosewood, a type of timber used for making fancy furniture in China. As forests fell, lemurs were hunted for a commercial bushmeat trade, and communities were threatened with violence. Because the coup leaders were profiting from the carnage, it was difficult to stop. The situation was truly disheartening, but what could I do? Well, I had Mongabay, so I started writing articles. I learned that timber was being trafficked by a French shipping company. That would be my opportunity for impact. During last year's climate talks in Copenhagen, I reached out to my network with an email, saying that now was the time to really make the world aware of what was happening in Madagascar. Word spread. From that one email, tens of thousands of emails eventually went out. The outcry was so intense, the company stopped shipping rosewood. Global pressure intensified, and within 3 months, the government of Madagascar banned shipments of rosewood, dramatically slowing an industry that had been destroying communities, wildlife, and forests. Having an impact on Madagascar's rosewood trade didn't require particularly advanced technology. All it really took was the right message going to the right people at the right time. Maybe next time it will be a Facebook post, a tweet, a text message, or a YouTube video. The lesson here is that today, anyone can have an impact. It's going to take people with all different interests and backgrounds. Writers, photographers, performers, artists, programmers. But if you have passion, you as an individual can make a difference. And together, we can save the Madagascars, the Borneos, and the other paradises of the world.